Alright guys, welcome back with me with another YouTube video. One Piece chapter 1036 confirms that King has indeed lost to Zoro. King is Kaido's strongest subordinate, with a bounty that surpasses Charlotte Katakuri. So what if, for example, Zoro fought Katakuri in One Piece? Who will win? But before we start this video, please smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and click notification bell, or you will miss future anime videos. Charlotte Katakuri has an interesting trick to avoid all attacks. He calculated the enemy's attack with his observation haki. Thus, the attacks aimed at Katakuri could be avoided easily. However, attacks covered in Conqueror haki are unique. Attacks coated in Conqueror haki can hit the target without touching it. So if Zoro slashed his sword, then the slash's range could be bigger than the enemy anticipated. I think Katakuri might be able to anticipate Zoro's attacks with his observation haki at the start of the fight. But the longer the fight goes on, the range of Zoro's Conqueror haki attacks will be more difficult for Katakuri to predict, especially since this extra attack range doesn't seem to be visible. We have seen for ourselves that Katakuri is very strong. Luffy had already fought him on Whole Cake Island. However, attacks covered in Conqueror haki have proven to be capable of being a weapon against even One Piece's toughest enemies. Kaido's Conqueror haki attack, for example, can knock Luffy down with one hit. Then Zoro's Conqueror haki attack on Kaido can hurt Kaido. If Kaido can be injured by Zoro's attack, which is layered with Heiyoshoku haki, then Katakuri will also be injured if he is slashed. I think once Katakuri gets hit by Zoro's Conqueror haki, then he's in danger. With his Mochi Mochi no Mi, Katakuri can launch various attacks flexibly. Katakuri's moves, including the awakening of the Mochi Mochi no Mi, can help Katakuri attack Zoro from afar. Zoro might be able to chop up some of Katakuri's attacks, but I think if Zoro is careless, he could be trapped by Katakuri's devil fruit powers. In terms of agility, Zoro is also not as flexible as Luffy, so he would probably still be hit by some Katakuri attacks, especially since Katakuri should be able to guess Zoro's movements. The Zoro we're talking about right now is Zoro who could beat King. Even though Zoro's strength is increasing, there are still visible weaknesses. Zoro's Conqueror haki slashes can theoretically injure One Piece's strongest creatures. If he can only hurt Kaido, then an enemy like Katakuri can definitely be seriously injured with this slash. Even so, currently Zoro doesn't seem to have fully mastered his Conqueror haki. In chapter 1033, he had to let Emma completely unleash his haki. Maybe one day, Zoro will be able to master this haki release, so he can be like Oden, who takes it easy even though it turns out that Emma has completely unleashed his haki. But in chapter 1033, Zoro feels that letting his haki loose all the time can kill him. So for now, I think if Zoro decides to let Emma release his haki, then Zoro can't fight too long, otherwise he will eventually collapse. Katakuri could have taken advantage of this weakness to win. Katakuri didn't feel like playing it safe just because he found out about this. Given that Katakuri has a chivalrous spirit, he feels like he will still fight Zoro with all his might. However, if Katakuri can manipulate his body to avoid Zoro's attacks until Zoro falls due to exerting too much haki, while attacking back too, then Katakuri will win. If we're talking about the Onigashima version of Zoro with Katakuri that we saw at WCI, then I think the fight would be like this. Initially, Zoro may not use his Conqueror haki first. If Zoro hadn't used Conqueror haki, then Katakuri's techniques might have caught him by surprise. If Zoro layered Conqueror haki into an attack, Katakuri could be in trouble. The extra range of Zoro's attacks thanks to Conqueror haki could be more difficult for Katakuri to anticipate. I think Katakuri might still be able to anticipate some of Zoro's initial attacks, but as time goes on, Zoro's extra range of Conqueror haki attacks will be more likely to reach Katakuri, even if Katakuri manipulates his body. Then once Katakuri gets hit by a Conqueror haki slash, the impact can be huge. The wound he suffered would be serious, so it would be easier for Zoro to defeat him. In conclusion, I still feel Zoro is currently able to beat Katakuri, thanks to his Conqueror haki. Zoro really can be aligned with the right hand of the Yonko like Katakuri for Big Mom, and King for Kaido. Even so, I think Katakuri can still win if Zoro is not careful. I suspect Katakuri could have trapped Zoro with his Mochi Mochi no Mi power. Or if Zoro wasn't alert, Katakuri could have survived with the help of his observation haki, until Zoro fell on his own due to exerting too much haki. But if Katakuri can layer his attacks with Conqueror haki, then it's clear that Zoro will lose. That's my theory about who wins if Zoro fights Katakuri. What do you think?